Hello everyone, this is Jack Wu, your host for Success Edge. Today I want to talk about 6 of the most deadliest mistakes why most entrepreneurs fail in their business. Let's get right into it. Point number 1. The first major reason why most people don't make it is that, in my opinion, they quit way too early. You see, anyone that became extremely successful in what they do is because they practice on whatever they are committed to do. I'll give you an example today. If you don't know how to play basketball, you are not a great shooter. Let's say that you're not a great shooter. Let's just say that you are making 100 shots, okay? And let's say you suck at it. You only make 5%. Out of 100 shots, you make 5 baskets. That's 5%. Let's say another batch comes along, you do another 100 shots. Mathematically, statistically, it's impossible for you to stay at 5%. You probably will get to 7%. You know what happened for a lot of people? When they get to 6%, 7%, 8%, they get tired of it and they quit. Let me tell you what the successful people do. They will go through another 100 shots. Then eventually, they can get to the 10%. Then another 100 shots, 15%. Another 100 shots, 20%. Eventually, they get to the average norm ratio, which is somewhere around 30 to 33%. And that's what you want to do. If you want to become great in what you do, you don't need to be 100%. You don't need to be 7%. If you get to 30 to 35% in your business ratio, you will actually become top 10%, top 5%, top 1% in your business. That's all you got to do. Practice, practice, practice. Second, most of the entrepreneurs, most of the salespeople, when they join a company, they focus way too much time at the beginning on back-end stuff. They don't focus their energy on the front-end stuff. When I talk about back-end stuff, what do I mean by that? I'm talking about stuff that's non-productive, man. You know, keep emailing your customers, but not following up, not having the courage to pick up the phone and actually approach them. The 90% in the back-end does not make you any money. You know that, right? Only things on the front end will you eventually sales. Let me tell you front end straight up. 2 things. Recruiting new blood into your company. Constantly finding new talented people to work for your company, whatever business you might be in. Second thing, which is very important, you got to learn how to sell your product. You got to be confident about your product. You got to be able to understand your product, the differences between what you got and what other people got. So focus on the 10%. The 10% front end will make you 90% of the money. And the 90% of the stuff in the back end is not going to give you any money at all. The third point I want to talk about is motivating versus leading and influencing. Way too many people, they really think by telling people what to do, by trying to convince people what to do, in the long haul, they will see a magnificent result. It's not going to happen. At the beginning of my career, I made that major mistake is that when I first started, at the first, I think 1 year, I made a lot of good progress in my business. I made a lot of sales, and ultimately I was pretty good and I survived the first stage. Then I made this mistake. I was trying to motivate my guys now to do what I do, and I stopped doing it because human natures, sometimes when we get to a first certain level, right? You're right here, you get to this certain level, you have people under you, right? In your company, on your team. Now you achieve the first tier of success and you say, okay, wait a minute. Now I want to stop. I want to be a manager. Let me try to get the guys under me, whoever they might be, and try to do what they got to do and get to my level, and you stop. See, the key for your people to follow you is not you stop or going back down. The key to move your people at the bottom is that you keep leading, keep influencing, keep producing. They have to catch up to you. Leading, influencing, rather than motivating is the key for you to grow your people. Point number 4, treating your business as a business is also a major mistake. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. If you treat your business today as a business initially, for most people it doesn't work. Why? Because as a business owner, as a 1099 contractor, you can wake up whenever you want to wake up. And that's the problem. Most people don't have the discipline. Oh, I got my own business. Oh, I started this great company. Oh, I started this sales company. Nobody bosses me anymore. I am able to do whatever I want to do. But boom, they sleep until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. They go home, take a nap at 3. And boom, they encounter a little bit challenges of the day, certain thing doesn't go right, oh, let me call off because I'm my own business owner. I don't have to do it. So let me tell you the point I want to make here is that if you want to become big in your business, the first 2 to 3 years, you got to treat your business as a job. If somebody paying you 50 grand a year and tell you to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and get to your job, would you be there? The answer is of course, because somebody paying you $50,000. If somebody tell you, listen, in the next 30 days, you only can take 3 days break. The other 27 days you have to work, and they are paying you $80,000 a year. Would you do it? Of course, because it's a job. You see, psychologically, that's what you got to do is to psych your mind out. When you're running a business, you got to run it as a job initially, in my opinion, for the first 2 and maybe for some people for the first 3 to 5 years until they develop the business owner mentality and the discipline to do it. Then eventually they can treat their business as a business and ultimately they can scale their company. The 5th point, don't try to be perfect. You see, if you want to be perfect, if you try to be perfect, actually you are not that perfect. But sometimes when you accept failures, as long as you learn from it, when you are not perfect, you are actually very perfect. Learn how to fail first. The key is that you got to constantly changing, constantly readjusting yourself. Don't ever try to become perfect, because most people fail running a company is because they take everything personal, too personal, way too personal. And when one mistake comes, one failure comes, it's, oh my God, it's way too much for me, and they give up, right? So remember, people who succeed, people who can get to the ultimate level in their business, in their career, they're not afraid of failing. If you're looking at a guy like me, I am extremely great in failing. You just don't see how many battle scars behind my face. And that's why I can become who I am today in my industry, in my career, in everything that I do. And the last point, number 6, not willing to hustle for a long period of time until you see the result. Success has a formula. A plus B equals 10. A plus B equals 10. 10 means you're successful in whatever you do. You have to figure it out. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Fantastic. If you figure out 1 plus 9 equals 10, that's success. Or 5 plus 5, for some people, equals 10. That's great. Some people could be 8 plus 2 equals 10. That's great. You have to spend a lot of time. Now, that time, I don't know. It could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Figure it out what plus what equals 10. That's your job. But if you quit too early, you have no chance of able to figure out that particular formula, what will get you to the 10. So I gave you 6 major mistakes, reasons why most entrepreneurs fail in their business today. And I hope those 6 reasons give you some wake-up call, alert. When you are about to quit, think about those 6 reasons why 99% of the people in America today who want to be a successful entrepreneur but eventually faded out and fail. And do not be one of them, okay? With that being said, I will see every single one of you at my next episode of Success Edge. Take good care of yourself.